Hey everyone, blessing to be here tonight. Blessing to have everybody here. Big house, big crowd tonight. My name's Michael Davis. I'm running for sheriff of Knox County, God's County, right? God and country. I grew up in South Knoxville. Went to Dole High School. I'm married. My wife's Elaine Davis. I got 3 kids and 2 grandkids. Like I said, I went to Dole High School. Graduated from Dole. Attended UT. Graduated from UT. Hired by the Knox County Sheriff's Office. I tend to say department, because that's what it was when I was hired, but it's office. Worked there approximately 5 to 6 years, started in corrections. Was in the first academy that Knox County ran, and Lieutenant Spangler, or Sheriff Spangler was a lieutenant at that time over the academy. About 5 or 6 years there, I was hired as a federal agent with DEA. They sent me to Quantico for 16 weeks, and then they sent me to New Orleans. I was sent to the New Orleans Field Division. That field division encompasses Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Alabama. I was placed on a mobile enforcement team, a MET team. It's kind of a quick response team, and we would travel to the various cities on a MET deployment when the narcotic trafficking activity and the violence was off the charts. We'd stay there 3 to 5 months, do a roundup on suspected traffickers, identified a network, and had a huge impact. So I did that the whole time I was in New Orleans, and I was able to get back home to Knoxville, where I worked the remainder of my career. And I retired September 30th, 24, after approximately 26 years. When I was in Knoxville, our primary focus was targeting drug trafficking organizations. That the cases would initiate here, Knox County or East Tennessee, but they would have a nexus to Detroit, Chicago, Atlanta, New York. We start these cases often with controlled buys, which means we buy narcotics from someone locally here. We keep spinning up on telephones and try to get the source in these other cities, these cell heads. We come back around with indictments, charge everyone, do a roundup. So that had a huge impact on the poison that was being shipped to our county. We cut the head of the snake off when we arrested these people in these major cities. All right. Had a great time in Knox County. Worked with the Sheriff's Office, KPD, TBI, other brothers, FBI, Marshal Service, all the alphabet agencies. Had a huge impact on the crime and the violence, and a lot of the secondary violence and crimes that committed by narcotic traffickers. The property theft, the arbitrary violence, child neglect, people going down the road on dope, hit someone and kill them. So by stopping this trafficking, we alleviate a lot of these other problems. Moving forward, run for Sheriff Knox County. And the key element and what differentiates me from the rest of the candidates is leadership. With any organization, the heart of the organization is who's in charge. All right? What is the mission statement of that leader? And you start with that leader, okay? And how he will run the sheriff's office. Will that leader be transparent? Have transparency? Will he be professionalism? Will he have integrity? Okay? And those are not just things that I profess. That is my life, and that's what I have displayed in over 30 years of law enforcement. All right? My integrity. I've had 26 years of top secret security clearance. Every 3 to 4 years, I had a background check of me and my entire family. Anything that I do with DEA has 3 levels that it has to adhere to. Locally, divisional, in Louisville, and headquarters in Washington, D.C. Okay? I was the seized evidence custodian. I was the bursar of our office, responsible for hundreds of thousands of dollars in our office. I was the seized evidence custodian. I've been responsible in seizing $3 to $4 million of narcotics, which is approximately $2 to $4 million based on what period of time that we're talking. In one instance, there was a truck coming through Knox County. It was part of a case we were working. It was full of bananas, okay, crates of bananas. And inside that tractor trailer was 60 kilos of cocaine, okay? Knox County is a choke point for narcotics with 40 and 75, okay? Historically, the dope comes up, the money comes down, and a lot of times they meet right here. So We don't have an interdiction program, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute, but I don't understand that either. The amount of dope that comes through this choke point is absolutely astronomical, all right? So professionalism, integrity, transparency. You know, I had to have everything that I did, there was a quarterly and yearly audit. And if I didn't adhere to whatever the audit pertained to, I could get suspended or fired, okay? So I lived that transparency, integrity in my job for 26 years. Moving forward, as your sheriff, I'm gonna have a strategic goal as sheriff. You know, what is our mission statement? Our mission is to protect and serve the citizens of this county, okay? And my goal is to make Knox County Sheriff's Office the preeminent law enforcement agency in this state. We've got the resources, we've got the academy, and through me, we will have the passion, the drive, and the desire to make Knox County the preeminent law enforcement agency in this state, all right? What's our goals? What's our mission? What's our strategies that we're gonna develop to achieve these goals, okay? And in retrospect, we're gonna reflect back and make sure we're gonna have a self-analysis to make sure we are achieving these goals. So you gotta have a strategic plan, all right? What am I gonna do as sheriff? Okay, some of the things that I want to enhance. One, audit, quarterly and yearly audits of the various departments in Knox County to make sure that we don't have something that we overlook. And a lot of times that's just a mistake. Well, we're not gonna have these issues floating where we got a credit card with X amount of dollars being charged on it and come back later and everyone's like, hey, what's going on with these overcharges? A lot of the times these are just accidents. But when I'm sheriff, we're not gonna have these accidents, or this accident, to the best of my ability. Nobody's perfect, and some of these things are just a mistake. We're gonna have quarterly and yearly audits of those departments, all right? We're gonna enhance our organized crime unit, which we don't even have. It's a paper unit. They've got a gun, they've got a badge, they're gonna be proactive and have an impact. We're gonna enhance our drug unit, okay? The root of most crimes is through narcotics. We're gonna enhance that. Thirdly, immigration. If you're a criminal illegal alien in this county, we're gonna come get you. We're coming. We're gonna do something about it. These pedophiles, these murderers that are illegal aliens in our county, it's gonna stop to the best of my ability. We're gonna do something about it, all right? Like I said, the immigration, when you let 10 to 15 million people cross the border, you're gonna have problems. And law enforcement is fighting for you, for your safety, and sometimes accidents happen. But in over 30 years of law enforcement, I've never seen an officer intentionally hurt someone or someone mistreated. I started in the jail at the penal farm making $18,500. I started at the bottom. I have empathy for our brother officers. I worked all the side jobs, okay? I understand what it means to try to make a living as an officer. The pay is not where it needs to be. And fourthly, the homeless. We're gonna do something about the homeless. We're not gonna have these shanty towns stacked up on the interstate, butting up against subdivisions where children are playing. You've got these perverts and these homeless camps. You've got waste, needles, weapons. You've got disease in there. And it's not a crime to be homeless, okay? And God bless them. I'm a Christian. They need help. I want to offer them help. But their right to be homeless doesn't supersede our rights as citizens of this county, okay? And it's going to stop. This panhandling on the side of the road, in the corners, it's going to stop. People hitting these homeless people at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when they're coming home from work and they're scarred for life. It's tragic, okay? We've got to give these people the help they need. Specifically the Farragut area, we're going to have a satellite office in Farragut, all right? I've heard at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, people are breaking into cars in Farragut. We're going to have a presence down here. We're going to do something with the homeless camps down here in Farragut. Lastly, why am I running for sheriff? I don't need this job. I'm retired. I have a pension. My retirement, I don't need it. Why am I running? Okay, I hope you can tell in my voice and my tone, I've got a passion and love for the people of this county. All right? I've worked over a quarter century fighting violent narcotic traffickers, mostly in our county. All right? I can still have an impact, and the safety. You know, the people in Knox County are my extended family, and I've got grandchildren here, and I'm going to do something about their safety and security, and that's why I run for sheriff. All right, I love y'all. God bless y'all, and I'll take one question.